As we grow older, we begin to notice small changes in our bodies that we may have once taken for granted. Maybe it's harder to get up from a chair or bend down to pick something up off the floor. These subtle signs aren't just annoying, they're warnings that our bodies need attention. But here's the good news. It's not too late to make a change. With small adjustments to your daily routine, you can slow down the aging process and keep your body and mind active, strong, and healthy for years to come. It's all about staying consistent, keeping moving, and understanding that age doesn't have to limit you. Aging doesn't just affect the body, it impacts your mind and emotional well-being too. As we get older, relationships change, and sometimes it feels like people treat us as if we're fragile. But it's crucial to remember that your independence and dignity are yours to maintain. There are things you may want to keep to yourself, like your financial situation or health struggles, because opening up too much might create unnecessary pressure on your loved ones. You have every right to live with pride, make your own choices, and protect your peace of mind. If you're ready to embrace the later years of life with confidence and purpose, now is the time to take action. Start small, stay active, and remember that you're never too old to learn, grow, and live a fulfilling life. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content that helps you live your best life at any age. We want to hear from you too. Drop a comment below and share how you're taking steps to live a healthier and more independent life. We'd love to know what's working for you. There comes a time in everyone's life when you begin to notice the small changes, the subtle shifts that, once so insignificant, now stand out like a shadow across your mind. One morning, as you wake up and get out of bed, you feel the ache in your knees. You bend over and it takes more effort than it used to. You realize you're having trouble picking something up from the floor, something as simple as a dropped pencil or a piece of paper. You try to bend lower, but your legs feel weaker, and the ache in your lower back becomes more pronounced. It's not a sharp pain, but it's enough to make you stop and think, something's not right. If you can't do something as simple as getting up from the floor, standing back up after squatting, or even bending down to tie your shoes after the age of 60, it's not just a small inconvenience, it's a warning sign from your body that things are not functioning as they should. This isn't meant to scare you, but it's the truth. The body, like any machine, has limits, and when it begins to show you signs of slowing down, it's your responsibility to listen. And if this simple, everyday movement becomes increasingly difficult for you, the odds of suffering from chronic health issues increase dramatically. But here's the thing no one tells you. It's not too late. There are still things you can do to change course. It's just about understanding the patterns your body and mind go through as you age and making small, deliberate changes that will keep you moving and thriving for many years to come. It's not all doom and gloom. In fact, far from it. You don't need to be a gym enthusiast or a marathon runner to keep your health intact after 60. In fact, it's the small, consistent habits you form that will truly make the difference in how you feel physically and mentally every day. One of the most vital aspects of healthy aging is the physical movement that often gets overlooked. When people start to age, they think they can take it easy. They've worked hard all their lives, raised families, and maybe even put in their time at a job. Now it's time for the retirement phase. Time to rest, right? But resting too much of it is dangerous. It's not about working out 6 hours a day or lifting heavy weights. It's about incorporating movement into your day-to-day life, and it doesn't have to be complicated. Imagine you're sitting down on a comfortable chair, one of those deep, cushy ones. It feels so good that you settle into it without much thought. You think about getting up to get something, but the thought of moving is exhausting. The moment you try to rise, you feel the resistance in your body. The effort to push yourself off seems like a monumental task. You try again. This time you strain, but slowly with a groan you manage to rise. Your legs shake a bit, and you're out of breath. You think to yourself, is this really what it feels like to get older? And you're right. It doesn't have to feel this way. Your body has an incredible ability to heal, to adjust, and to get stronger. But it needs your help. If you can't get up from that chair without struggling, there's an issue with your mobility, your muscle strength, or your endurance. And if you can't move freely without that sense of discomfort or struggle, the risk of falls, heart disease, and general decline increases. Movement is what maintains your strength. It's the key to maintaining your independence and preventing those small things from snowballing into something bigger. This is the time when every step counts, and every action you take to stay active and engaged in the world around you is crucial. But it's not just about physical movement. Your mind, too, requires constant care. Aging doesn't just impact your joints and muscles. It affects the mind in equally profound ways. The longer we live, the more layers we accumulate in our minds. Memories, regrets, wisdom, and emotional scars. Your brain needs exercise just as much as your body. People think that getting older means becoming slower, more forgetful, less sharp. But that's only true if you stop engaging your mind. If you allow yourself to fall into routine and stop seeking new things to learn, you'll start to feel the effect. It's natural. Like any other muscle in your body, your brain needs challenge to stay sharp. Here's the truth most people never consider. After 60, the fear of death becomes real. It's something that no longer sits at the back of your mind like it did when you were younger. It's in your face every day. You see it in the mirror, you feel it in your bones. Your time is limited, but that doesn't mean your life is over. It's far from it. In fact, the most beautiful phase of your life could still be ahead of you if you choose to face these challenges head on. And with aging comes a deep, sometimes uncomfortable realization. One of the toughest parts about growing older is that people start treating you like you're fragile, like you're incapable of doing things for yourself. It's not that they mean to, but it's in their nature to worry about you. They begin to take care of you in ways that sometimes feel suffocating, and in the process, you may begin to lose a sense of control over your own life. But here's something that's important to remember. You have every right to maintain your independence. There's something so powerful about having control over your life, your choices, and your decisions. And that doesn't change with age. But here's where it gets tricky. There are things you should never share with your family, even the ones you love most. These aren't secrets meant to hurt anyone. They're just things that are better kept to yourself in order to maintain your dignity and sense of autonomy. One of these things is your financial situation. It's a delicate topic, and though you may want to make sure your children know everything, it's often best to keep your financial struggles to yourself. If you're in a difficult spot, there are resources available that can help you, but burdening your loved ones with your financial situation might create unnecessary pressure on them. It's not that you don't trust them, it's about preserving their ability to live their own lives without feeling responsible for your every need. When you open up too much, it might inadvertently strain your relationship. Your financial independence is a part of who you are, and keeping it private helps you retain that sense of self-worth and strength. Another thing you should be careful about is your health. Sure, it's important to let your loved ones know if you're sick or have chronic conditions, but every little detail about your health doesn't need to be laid out for them. Your children especially may begin to worry excessively, and that worry can transform into guilt or a sense of obligation. By all means, keep them informed about significant changes in your health, but there's no need to share every minor issue that might only add stress to their lives. You deserve to maintain some level of privacy in your health. This allows you to preserve your own sense of autonomy and agency over your life. It also prevents your loved ones from stepping in too early, treating you like you're incapable of making decisions for yourself. The same goes for emotional struggles. The aging process can be incredibly emotional. It can be lonely, and it can bring up all sorts of feelings: regret, loss, fear. But sometimes, sharing all your emotional baggage with your family can create an overwhelming burden on them. Sometimes it's better to work through those emotions with a therapist, a support group, or even through writing or meditation. This doesn't mean you isolate yourself. It means giving yourself space to deal with these issues without putting the weight on others. Your emotions are your own, and they're part of your journey through aging. It's okay to ask for support, but you don't need to ask for help with every single feeling you have.